Today, we eat blackberries. Come on, let's go. Today, we eat blackberries. Come on, let's go. Today, we eat blackberries. Come on, let's go. Today, we eat blackberries. Come on, let's go.
Streaming every night. Not only just chilling, but I'm outside. I'm outside, people. One take.
Outside, y'all. I'm outside. Hey, if you jumped in, we're gonna start very shortly. Drop a question in the chat. It is day 60. This is your 60th day of Darnell Just Talking, coming on here streaming nightly. Added to that, a bunch of midday morning streams. Been pretty active out here, so don't miss this stream. Also, it's the first night. We're doing the multi-stream. I'm on horizontal and vertical. I finally allowed YouTube to figure that out for me. Hey, we'll see what happens. It's a new day, and we're trying new things. So thanks for joining. Thanks for the view. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subs. Just many things. Jaja, what's up, man? In here early. It's gonna be a little bit of technical difficulties, but we should get through.
After 25
The reason why is
days
because
of
I'm multi-streaming
every night.
and I have never done
Not only
this
just chilling, but I'm
to
outside.
be able to stream
I'm
the
outside,
vertical
people.
and
One
horizontal.
take.
And there's a lot more things to look at. I feel like I need another screen. I got 2 whole screens filled up, so I know the solution, but I haven't activated it yet. I need like a little tablet, but I'm gonna begin very shortly. Let me just get this hype music. Hopefully just hang out and a few more people will come in here. I'll be right back. I'm outside, y'all. I'm outside.
After 25 days of streaming every night,
Tonight
only
we are
just
doing
chilling, I'm outside.
Q&A.
I'm outside, people. One take.
I had a couple of good questions. I know, Jaja, you asked good questions as well, but I had a couple of good questions that I answered throughout the past few days, and maybe Friday night's answer will be better than the one I gave this week. I'm outside, y'all. I'm outside. Okay. We're here. Hope everybody who's in here. Can't worry about, how many people's in here. We still got to do the thing. This is the first multi-stream. So, like I said, bear with me. We're gonna have some technical difficulties to work through. But in general terms, if you want the full experience, please hop over to the horizontal or landscape stream. That'll probably be better for you. So, doing. Trust me, I was practicing today. I hope I'm 90% there. It takes time to learn. Hey, Carolyn joined me earlier. Guys, if you're not on your phone, or if you are on your phone, I'm streaming on landscape and vertical. So this is the first stream that I've ever done that. So fingers crossed. YouTube, supposedly the way they do it is they scale it in the background. So I'm not, doing two separate streams, it's one stream, but it's still a lot to manage, and I'm just trying to make sure that I can manage things the way that I'm used to. So I'm glad to see you guys tonight. It was a pretty good week. We had a lot of ups, at least in front of the camera. There were a lot of ups. The downs, I left off the camera. Tonight, I was hoping that we could do some Q&A if you guys had some good questions. I had a few questions that have been loaded up. Someone asked me a question earlier that I really liked, and yesterday as well. And it was in the dead of me digging, and I'm always outside, so I'm digging and dealing with poop. And I don't think I gave my heart, my all, to answering those questions. But by all means, if you guys had any questions for me, it would be nice to have a conversation. If you're interested in finding out about that, maybe you'll get to learn a little bit more about me. Maybe I'll get to learn a little bit more about you. So that's the goal for tonight. Like I said, it's day 60. This is, for me, I'm well over the hump. The hump being, if we're going to go to 100 days, we are more than halfway there. There's been a lot of lessons. There's been a lot of love, and a lot of learning. So that's the 3 L's. Lessons. I'm an on-the-fly person, if you haven't caught that. Lessons, love, and learning. That's what my experience has been like. And I along the way, I wanted so bad to create different videos. This is this day and that day. I've definitely created some highlights, but you best believe that I'm gonna spend maybe 100 hours to come up with the 100-day video, to show, what I learned on the stream. Definitely some highlight moments, and but that's the goal. I am Jaja. I am actually tonight is kind of like a one night only. Like I don't know if you know Jennifer Hudson and Dreamgirls. Like this is like a one night only. I'm definitely down for some questions. Now, granted, Jaja, I don't have to. If I feel uncomfortable, for myself, I won't cross that line. I won't tell you the street that I live on, but I think it's only right that I am so excited for how this week has turned out. However you see the start of the week, whether it's Sunday or Monday, we definitely got some new friends, new family, new viewers that have stuck around, and I've really enjoyed the conversation. And I've been trying to figure out how to calibrate, so to speak, how to calibrate based on where I came from and why I'm doing what I'm doing, because it wasn't clear. I think that guys, people who jumped in, man, I'm hot. People who jumped in and they may have caught me, in the 50s of days, they don't really understand what got me here. And I figured if I ever explain anything about myself, they might have missed it. So I shouldn't be naive, and I should give people opportunity to ask questions, and maybe that, we could start there. So I have a couple questions loaded. So if it's not busy and you guys don't have any questions, but it looks like Jaja is loaded. I know Jaja is loading up. From the first day Jaja came in here, he had pretty inquisitive questions. Jaja took the liberty of sending me an email, like an email afterwards, and that email was responded to, and they were all really good, really deep questions. And then I came on the stream the next day, and I was so inspired because it was like having a human experience, whereas you don't really give people the time of day, or people don't give you the time of day, and we just kind of keep moving. So I found that really cool, and I answered the questions. So please feel free, if you have a question, you could ask. If not, I'll just roll into the few questions that I have set aside. If you could let me know if anyone is on the horizontal or landscape stream, I am pretty curious. It's a first time, and I took like 20 minutes to kind of gather myself, and I'm just fingers crossed. This is where I want to be. I get to do more. I get to show more. I get to be more. Not that I have a big head. Okay, not the double entendre. So I don't have a big head. So if you were asking that question, you could kill that. I have an almost adult size head, and I'm not big headed. Landscape, woo, doing. So I'm not big headed either. I don't. At least I don't have a big ego to myself. I've never been told that I had a big ego. Okay. So Jaja says, so remember in the email I sent you over a week ago? Yes, I do remember. Beverly's on landscape. Hey, Beverly, nice to see you again. It says, remember the email I sent you over a week ago? I asked you about your religious stance. Could you clarify about that? I'm a bit confused about what you meant by higher power, seeker of truth. So, seeker of truth, I find myself to be more spiritual, whereas especially the activities that I'm doing on the 24 hours a day, I am getting in touch with something outside of myself. If you follow like Alan Watts's words, like you what we generally humans think of as themselves is the ego, but there's obviously something else going on, because you don't pump blood through your body consciously. You don't most times breathe consciously. So there's like a bigger self. So in general terms, I'm always just willing to understand that there's a truth that I don't understand. So when I hear from what one religious practice is saying from another, I'm really just seeking truth, and I'm not willing to say one is bad or the other is bad. But I also don't get into the conflict of, why people get polarized by one or the other. Higher powered, I mean, that's a general term for, the Most High, the so-called one, one being. 8, have a little head. 6 1/4, no joke. So I remember the last time I shopped I was an adult, and I shopped for World Series hats for the Yankees, and I think I was 6 3/4. So I know. Beverly says it was great talking to you this morning. Likewise. Yeah, Jaja, just to go further, and guys, Beverly, if you have any questions, anything. I think it'll make an awesome stream. For anyone who pops in here, I think it'll give them a chance to meet me. For whatever reason, I'm energized on a Friday. It's not that I didn't do a lot this week, but I'm super energized, and I think it just felt right. But yeah, I just my motive, Jaja, is just to spread good quality energy, to make good interactions with the environment. That includes the people around you, the things around you. Oh, you ride a motorcycle. Cool. That's what's up. Be safe. Actually, I don't know. I've never put on a motorcycle helmet, actually. I guess that's bucket list. My kids just got a go-kart and a little ATV. So we're buying those type of helmets, just because they're more safe. So they'll actually have tried on a helmet before me. Any other questions, Jaja? And why did that one? Is it just that I provided you have a dirt bike and a street bike? Cool. I caught your video last night doing but I didn't hear you say your name. I was like, she's gonna say it. I caught the video with the dog outside in the back. Yeah, I don't get into the name of so it's like I'll give you a couple things, Jaja. When I was getting married, I was when you do the counseling, the consultation with the priest, you get to learn that there are a lot of things that religion adopted, marriage being one of them. So I kind of felt lied to, and it wasn't specifically by a particular religion, but I realized that society likes to forget or not pass on traditions appropriately. And I was so thankful that the priest sat me down and made me understand that communities existed well before many of our modern religions existed, and they had ways to conduct business and rituals, so to speak. And that made me dive even deeper into just saying that being a decent person and respecting others is kind of in line with everything you're going to read in most religions, right? In the religious text. So I just don't get into it because I haven't reached that moment. That I have come across a lot of people in my upbringing that make it a little challenging to inquire and get answers. There's also a lot of churches that I've seen that are a little defensive about questions. So I just I don't want it be a moment of conflict. I know that I, being a human, did not create, when I'm putting my hands in the dirt and all of, they say billions of organisms are in 1 spoon of dirt, I know that we're not the reason for that. Did you plant your potatoes today? Good Friday. Beverly, don't make me go outside right now with my Hori. No, I don't have a place. I don't have a place for them. So I'm going to miss this Good Friday, but I am going to remember that conversation. Duane says, I've gone over the handlebars once. That's scary. I didn't see the accident, but I once seen, which I'm pretty sure did not end well, because I seen body parts across the highway. You know, whenever there's an accident, everyone wants to stop and see. I'm not really the person that likes to stop and see. I've seen my fair share, and I want to keep going. But yeah, I've always been a little bit, unless I'm in a place that has well-paved roads, which America doesn't do well. I don't really, I'm a little afraid of getting on any kind of vehicle like that. Yeah. All right, guys. So I hope you're enjoying so far. I think we got out the gate pretty strong. Well, gotta go. Ciao, I'll see you, man. I know you said it gets late, so don't worry yourself. We'll keep you in spirit, sir. We will keep you in spirit. Okay. Hold on, I'm just gonna check on my end. I'm pretty excited about this multi-stream thing. I was telling Mick the Pick earlier, who's my moderator, that I feel like it's time, because if you guys may not know, but it's really hard to YouTube doesn't promote the landscape videos or horizontal videos the same, like with impressions. So it doesn't make sense to sit on there until you have consistent basis. But now that we have adults in the room, it makes a lot of sense. And we'll just live with it, and we'll figure out how to get the excitement. And since I could do both, we'll see what happens. I'm still active in the chat. Beverly, did you have a question for me? By the way, we did just meet. We had direct conversations. You helped me to learn about potatoes today. If you had a direct question, I would love to answer. And this question, next time I'll ask the person if I could put their name on, but the screen name. I know people, may not like being shouted out like that, but the first question was today. I think, was that today? Yep, that was today. Karen, who also came over from SFF, asked, what is your passion? And I don't think I was taken back. Oh, that's an easy one, Beverly. Yes, this is. There's certain things that I refuse to say out loud, but I don't mind sharing. And they come on camera. They like to hype me up. If it was a little earlier, they would come in the background. They like to hype me up. They have followed my YouTube journey. They're my inspiration for the most part for doing it. There was a lot of contention in the beginning about I don't think that their relationship with failure was a good one. I think the reason for not doing something outweighs just doing something and seeing what you could learn from it, or at least saying, this worked for me, and it's okay. They're children, but they also, my fear is that they live in a different competitive world. And what better way than to sacrifice myself to show them what was possible? And that was a little bit of my motive in the first couple of weeks. And I think once they saw me have tough moments and continue to do it, I felt their reaction to it change, and they've become a lot more supportive to it. We still have ways to go, because in my ideal world, I want them to engage. I want them to be able to utilize the skills that I have somewhat as a producer, but they have to meet me halfway. Oh, that's so cool. Do it. Do you mind if I go to the video? I might go to it on stream. That's so cool. Yeah, if anything, I'm gonna be all over that. I think it's cool the way, like, I think there's a cultural, difference. I'm just calling out that Doan says, I'm back. I just uploaded a video with me saying my name. Yeah, I just think it's so cool, the different accents that we have. She says, go. Okay, let's do it. Let's see if I can do this. Edwards. 3 minutes ago, Nightball with Gypsy. No, I'm not gonna laugh. My family's from the South. Most of my family, my mom was born in the North, but other than my mom, my father was born in the South. Yeah, my mom is the first person in my family that's born in the North. Everyone else is from the South. So my auntie, she calls me Fussy, and she used to always be like, Fussy, you courting anybody? Shout outs to my Aunt Terry. Okay, let me see. I'm a little discombobulated. I got different screens now. I think we're good. Okay, let me make sure the audio's on.
All right. We're going to play ball with Gypsy. I got her ball here ready. It's a glow in the dark. Y'all ready? There it goes, up and over. See it moving? All right, the way you pronounce my name is Dawn. D-A-W-N. Dawn.
Down.
Not Dawn. It's
down. There you go. Down. I'm almost there. I felt me leave it already. Hold on.
D-A-W-N. Dawn. Not Dawn. It's Dawn.
Down.
At least that's what Mama said. Bring my ball back.
Man, I wish my dog could do stuff like that. My dog is so smart, but she doesn't like me.
So, hold on a second. I'm going to set y'all up, because I got to be able to light this ball up.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Thanks for doing that. I'm going to be... I got to study that. I'm going to be here the whole weekend. Now you're going to mess it up for everyone who's named Dawn, because I'm going to recalibrate. No, I love the accent. See, us naive Northerners, when we hear the accent, we just automatically think hospitality, as if it's gonna just happen right away. A lot of work. Yeah, that's the hard part. We don't work, but my Oh, okay. I see when you say it. When I heard it now, and then when you write it like that, it makes sense. But I'm like avoiding looking at it because I'm like, don't mess it up. You just heard it. You just heard it. And part of the struggle is that I have people personal to me named Dawn. That's actually where the break is because I've used the name. Um, oh yeah, yeah. I have a pretty smart dog as well. Everyone's pretty impressed by my dog. It's just that she doesn't like me, so I won't cry on here about it. But she doesn't like me. Okay, so let's get back into Dawn. You don't have any questions for me. Beverly asked how many Rugrats. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Blue Daffodil, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, let's get your music ready. Okay. I didn't know you were hanging out, Blue Daffodil. Did you just learn as well? Let me put the video link in the chat just in case you guys want to catch that. Yeah, so okay, so as I stated, oh, that's a good that's a see, I'll cut this passion out. I have like backup questions because they were real and they came to me. Thank you so much, Beverly, for asking that. It's hard to say if gardening is my only. It's definitely not my only hobby, right? Um, I guess in rank, it is the thing that I feel like I have to do. I have a very strained relationship with what we. Um, yep, you just got it now. That's cool. So we're gonna fix anybody coming here and mess up that name. We're gonna fix them up. So yeah, so I feel like gardening is something that many people, especially when you're from the city, you dream about it. You like visiting a farm. It's an experience, and you take pictures. And I have a farm, an organic farm, 10 minutes away from me. I was in a CSA. We were members of the farm, and when during certain seasons um they would send what this is not something bad to say. They would send what's called Chinatown buses of people. So they're really inexpensive buses that you could get in Chinatown in New York City, and they pretty much go a lot of places. They go pretty far, and they have a bad reputation for the service, the bus itself, but they're cheap, so people have used them. So I've seen people come in droves to the same farm that on a casual Tuesday. Um, I've seen them come and treat the farm as an amusement park, like an amusement park, literally an amusement park. And I've seen them hanging and swinging. It's like, get a picture of me. I'm I'm on this cherry tree, and it hurt my heart. So coming from the city, if I was in that mind state, I understand. I think about 15 years ago, I went to a peach orchard. City folks, they love going to the orchard and have a day and waste money and not really engage. I was definitely. I feel like I could have been right in line with them. So because I have converted, I feel like I do this out of necessity. It's in line with having a job. Like I feel like I have to do it. Now the hobby part is not gardening per se. The hobby part is permaculture. So permaculture, the system of permanent agriculture, which was a system that was designed by Bill Mollison. And let me get, okay, I'll just put it on the screen so I don't mess this up, because I'll feel away if I do. Are you guys familiar with permaculture? Okay, I just want to know okay, I found it. Yep. Okay, so I'm on Wikipedia. 1 second, and this is cool because I get to see how this looks on the vertical stream since they're the ones condensing it. Dawn says she likes gardening but really dislike dirt on your hands. Yeah, that's I don't know. I understand. I've been there. I've been that person, and I feel like I had to change, and I did change. I did change immensely. Okay, so permaculture. Let me just get this thing looking nice on this screen for the vertical stream as well. 1 second. Okay, so permaculture is an approach to land management and settlement design that adopts arrangements observed in flourishing natural ecosystems. It includes a set of design principles derived using whole systems thinking. It applies these principles in fields such as regenerative agriculture, town planning, rewilding, community resilience. So these are the two guys that created this system, Bill Mollison and David Holmgren. Bill Mollison has passed away. David Holmgren is still alive. And that is actually my hobby. My hobby is based in whole systems design thinking. Permaculture is based on principles and morals. So if you guys aren't familiar, this is really the system. I don't know what that picture was. I don't think that has anything to do with. That's Bill Mollison. They famously authored this permaculture book that probably costs like $130. So I will be getting it at some point. Sorry for speeding through, but so this is my yeah, it is. I like what you said. Did you know if you have frogs, you have that's partly true, but you can't. You got to get a little bit deeper than that, don't. Yeah. So essentially, yeah, here we go. This is what I wanted. So this is the, what would these be called? The ethics of permaculture. So it's actually not care. Some people say earth care. So this says care of earth, and then people care, care of people, and then the last one, which I don't see, is called fair share. So that could be interpreted the way that you want it to be, but these are the ethics. So my hobby has embedded ethics in it, which is based on earth care, so treating the earth the appropriate way, people care, treating people the appropriate way, and then fair share, taking your fair share, which the third one I've heard it interpreted different ways. The way that I interpret it is everything that I involve myself with does not have to have capitalism involved. There's a aspect of it that is just purely me doing something and fighting for having an abundance, right? So like I have chickens. All of you guys have seen that I have chickens, and I get eggs from chickens. Well, eggs are a byproduct because in my systems design thinking, the hens won't be healthy unless they continue to lay eggs because that's a part of their system. They eat, they poop, they scratch, they lay. And it is not that much harder than that, right? They eat, they poop, they scratch, they lay. And I jump in when it comes to the poop and the scratch, and I kind of use those systems. The lay-in is just what they do, and it also helps me to understand the health of the bird or maybe the age of the bird, right? So that's really a byproduct for me. Now, I was talking about fair share. Today, I gave away 3 dozen of eggs to a friend who was at the house, and the friend is my top food scraps provider. So I would say that I hit not only fair share because I didn't find 1,000 ways. Granted, I could go into preserving those things, the eggs, but I know the season is just getting started. I already have 5 dozen on the counter. So I asked my friend, hey, do you guys eat eggs? Apparently, somebody's making 6 egg omelets with store-bought eggs. So I said, no, you got to take this. So that's me, just caring and establishing a communal relationship that is sustainable. Now, it's not, I didn't ask for any money. Now, if you donated me $1, I would take $1. Wouldn't take any more. Less wouldn't even make sense. But if you donated me $1 for a dozen, I would take it. But for the most part, my abundance allows for, at least today, while I'm doing okay, I'm taking my fair share, and I don't need any more of that. Now, if it was a business, that would be different. But to me, I don't see it as a business. So hopefully that answers, that doesn't answer. So gardening, that is the hobby of gardening. That I'm a permaculture enthusiast. I also play basketball. I also play video games with my children. I also make programs, technology programs, apps like mobile apps, and websites and web apps. And within that, there are a lot of ideas that I've worked through, and I also have dipped a little bit into entrepreneurship. And that, to me, I think that's a good handful. That's a good handful. So Beverly, if you like to help people, you should definitely look at this system because it may give you the right, not the right, but it may give you some verbiage to understand how you could expand on that and just kind of to stay within the bounds. Permaculture is a design system that's not just for agriculture. They kind of bill it as something that could really improve our world, especially when it comes to the ethics. I didn't even get into the ethics of permaculture. I don't know if you guys have come across this. Okay, sorry, not the ethics, but the design principles. I'll show you guys this briefly. So there's 12 permaculture design principles: observe and interact, catch and store energy. So energy could be water, could be sun, electricity. It could be banking compost. It could be banking. It's just energy. It's very broad. Obtain a yield. So be critical about actually obtaining something. It says emphasize projects that generate meaningful rewards. Apply self-regulation and accept feedback. Discourage inappropriate activity to ensure that systems function well. That's a pretty good one. Some people struggle with just accepting the feedback for what it is. Use and value renewable resources and services. Produce no waste. So when you realize all of the products, just about all of the products that you interact with is a resource, that's kind of what that is, and that's how I operate. I get very snobby about saying that I don't want nutrients and resources leaving my property. So all the cardboard that comes in, Amazon brown boxes, all of that gets used. The food scraps, all the food scraps go to the hens. I'm looking for every type of thing. If it's even if it's chicken bones, I'll try to shred those, or burn them somehow into biochar. Okay, let's move on. Design patterns from details. That's observe patterns in nature and society and use them to inform design, later add in details. So I always use this example. I don't know if I got it from somewhere or it just helps to clarify this for me, but when humans, when we move, so when we find a property or we want to design something, we see the water going one way. And instead of allowing that water to go that way, what we do is say, no, we want to move this water. We need this water to go another way. So then we shift the water, and then the flood comes in, and the flood reroutes all of the work that you did. So when it says design from patterns to details, observe patterns in nature and society to use them to inform designs. So we have to work with nature. That's what that is like screaming out. And I've definitely noticed a huge difference with my intervention to want to work with nature versus not working with nature, which I would never recommend. Integrate rather than segregate. So we tend to, as people, let me just read what it says. Proper design allows relationships to develop between design elements, allowing them to work together to support each other. Totally believe that. When you look at a seed pack, the seed pack is so specific to the sizing and the rows, and it almost seems like everything they want you to grow is in a monoculture. So, but when you start letting things grow, you realize that they actually play nice together and support each other, and there's more going on to the naked eye. Use small and slow solutions. Maybe that's why it's taking so long for me to get some of this stuff done. That's a whole nother point. Use and value diversity. They should have numbered these. It's 12 of them, but it's a lot of information. Use edges and value the marginal. I was talking today about the hedgerow that I put in that I have to design. The edges, I just made edges on my chicken garden so that I could plant within those edges, and those edges allow for me to weed whack without being able to deal with the weeds and manage it properly so that everything will get managed better. Creatively use and respond to change. A positive impact on inevitable change comes from careful observation followed by well-timed intervention. I'm sorry, guys. That is Darnell just talking, geeking out on permaculture. If you're interested, like I said, I would look up permaculture. I'll just put it in the chat again. It is one of my that is definitely one of my biggest hobbies, hurdles. There's a PDC, which stands for the Permaculture Design course, that gives you the international certification. You could be internationally certified and work on different systems, for municipalities to help them to advance themselves, or you could just work as a consultant on designing different things just to help us to use, native species and systems that actually work. Okay, I did miss your message, Don. Every time I say it, I pause internally. Chuck 1,000 ears of corn in a day, or shell 9 bushels of purple whole peas. Oh, that's how you grew up. Yeah, a lot of people who grow up like that, they want to run. They want to run. My mother-in-law, she grew up in Jamaica, and she talks about. I say, you want to come, stay with us for an extended amount of time, and she's like, I grew up on a farm. I don't want. It's like I live in the suburbs. I just operate like the way I do. I'm in a long-term protest. That's all it is. It's just I said it here before. People need to understand that you can't buy something if it's not on the shelf. So if you don't want to put your hands in the dirt, that's totally fine. Make sure somebody that loves you is willing to do it, and that's how you trade. But we all got to get better about just being involved somehow, and not just involved by being at the end where we pay someone, because the decisions that they get to make may change, and you may not like the change. That's the point there. Okay, you guys, if anyone else comes in, if you have any questions, more than willing to field the question. I will go to the question. So I won't do this one because I think that Beverly kind of got us there, and I kind of spoke through. Well, I guess I could speak through it. I'm Darnell just talking. Let's just talk it out. Okay, so the question is. And the question came from Karen. Karen came over from SFF. We had an amazing conversation. It was early this evening. And it was a random question. I felt like when I took a step back, I felt like I'm being interviewed. It's like I'm being interviewed. And the question is, what is? Oh, let me slim this up for the other screen. The question is, what is your passion? And I sat there and I thought about it, and it's not something that I really engage with much, because when you got small children, you don't really have time for a passion. And I believe my answer was something along the lines of, my passion is to be free and do the things that I'm doing. Allow myself to be creative. I'll never forget when, and if you guys get to know me, super comfortable veering off. If you want me to come back, you just let me know. But yeah, I want to say that what was I gonna say? I just tricked myself out of my own spot. I was answering about my passion. Okay, well, that left me. I joked myself out of that. Um, but yeah, I was talking about freedom. Okay, wow, it just came back. I'm like a one trick pony here. So what I was gonna say was I remember when we were, I forgot what you call it, but a lot of times when you want kids, you give them, you're trying to get them, it's like career readiness training. That's the appropriate term, actually. Career readiness training. So from where I come from, it's a big deal. You tell someone, hey, we're going to help you. You're going to have to get a job at some point. You need to do some sort of career readiness training, right? And resume is a big part of that. So we were talking about typing the other night. So typing is a part of that, and resume is a part of that. So you, on a resume, an old school resume, you had an objective. It was a big deal. And I remember till this day, I remember the first and only, I shouldn't say only objective, but I kind of remember the first objective I wrote. And I always follow back on it because it has defined me and it best answers the question about what I'm saying about passion. So it falls under the space of finding an opportunity where my creative mind can be utilized, right? And it's not verbatim. I could find a resume and find it. But I remember when I wrote it that there's not, because I did struggle as a teen to really articulate my skills, what I was thinking. My head was somewhere else, like many teens are. And I knew it all, like everyone else, and I didn't. But I remember when it came to these types of exercises, because you're not really graded, it's like something after school, right? I remember being able to say that I wanted to work, I wanted an opportunity where my creative skills and mind or whatever could be utilized. So I was already screaming out that I've been in so many positions where I was undersold, where I was underutilized. So I'm 17 years old writing this. And I tell you, I don't feel an ounce different today. So my passion falls under places where I get to exercise myself and be my full self. Where I have, real freedom. When I was a basketball coach, I coached high school basketball for a couple years. And when I was a basketball coach, the cool thing about coaching, which is a gift and a curse sometimes, is that there is a power dynamic. And while we're practicing or while we're playing a game and I'm coaching, I'm in control. And, power is a hard dynamic, and some people don't respond well to power. I didn't have that problem. One is because I didn't coach a good team. No, it's not that they weren't good. I was not trying to be a coach, so you don't accidentally stumble into a situation where everything is working and everything is clicking. Was I the first choice? Yeah, I was the first choice, but it was because someone was running away from the job, And I took the job, but speaking to the power dynamic, there is something to say about people coming to you and needing to work through you for their elevation. So as a coach on a basketball team, there are 12 players. And those 12 players have not yet convinced themselves that they're not going to the professional leagues. They've not yet convinced themselves that they're not going to play college basketball. They've not yet convinced themselves that this will only be a story that they will tell, and they have to hope that when they tell this story, that the other people that are there with them will be there to tell the story for them. I was really good. I was so good in high school and this happened. You better hope that other people are there, or it's just not even worth it to tell. So, if you're a good player, you're kind of asking for an opportunity. But the way that coaching works is it's my job to figure out the X's and O's, to figure out if this is worth, moving forward. If this is worth, if I see the team the way that you see your talent, people see themselves. The coach has to see the team because he's trying to reach success. He's trying to win a championship. He's trying to go to the playoffs. He's trying to have a competitive team. And in a sense, coaches' jobs depend on their ability to do well. So I understand the power dynamic. So being utilized is something that there could be a huge insecurity about when you feel underutilized. Now, expressed to me writing a resume at 17 years old and having those feelings, I can guarantee you that I've already felt that in my life at 17. The sad thing is that I still feel that today. So I've gravitated to expressing my passion through freedom and just following my heart on things that I feel make sense, sort of like YouTube, right? This is my time. No one's telling me that I have to go to 100 days. And I had to fight my family, not a bad fight, but fight for something that I felt good about, or not even good, that I had to do and that made sense for me, even though there might be some pressure. I may not be in the night routine as much, I may not get as much sleep, so I may not be as refreshed. So I have to figure those things out. But having the freedom to do it makes me applaud the passion and feel utilized, because that's not something that people get to do. A lot of times you sit somewhere and you're a lot better than your surroundings. Now I could say, YouTube is doing what they do to find a way for someone who's as active as me, who brings as much energy as I do. I could say that they are finding a way, but it's not a person that you could blame, but it's definitely harder than it should be rolled to be able to be at the top. If you told me that all you got to do is make 50 videos and they have to be X amount of time and you get like a quality metric back on the videos, I don't really think that somebody's going to, I'm in full confidence. I'm a person that doesn't like to be outworked. That's how I was as a player. That's how I am as an employee. I love to work hard and to outwork people. That's just what it is. But when you're dealing with other aspects, other variables, you don't really have full control. So that, I was just saying, so that kind of sums up the passion. I'm sorry if I bored anyone to sleep. I was engaged and I was into it. I know it can't just be about me. I'm usually not about just hearing myself talk, but I thought it was a good question, and I hope it was a good enough answer. If you guys are still hanging out, these numbers are tricky over here. I don't officially know what I'm seeing. On one part, I could be super impressed. On the other hand, I don't know. I really don't know what YouTube. I did not pull it up on my phone. Give me 1 second. If you're still here, just give me a heartbeat or hit the love or 100 so I know that you're still here. we got started all good. So let's keep that. I'm still here with the energy. I'm not stressed. Okay. Let's make sure this. All right. Well, I could see myself on the phone, so everything is good. I didn't know if okay. I'm definitely landscape. I don't know how I would be able to see it the other way, but I'll try. So I'll go to the next question. I'll just read it off. Did you guys miss the poll tonight? Is that what's going on? All right, let me see. Quality's not that bad. Oh, this looks awesome. This looks awesome. Hey, if you just joined, I just see someone join in here. We're doing somewhat of a Q&A. Ask me a question, and I will answer the question. It's our 60th straight night streaming, and I'm just super curious how things look. Alright, so I don't know how to do it on the shorts feed. We'll save that for next time. So I'll read the question off. If I donated 10K to you right now, what would you do? So I had a stream where Jax, Jax, was the YouTuber's, let's call him the YouTuber. Whether you stream or not, or make content, you're a YouTuber. We're all here in this party together. And this is what he asked. And he said a couple comments before that. And he said, hey, let me ask this question. And he just said it. And I think, well, the answer that I gave was very subtle. It was, and I mean it, and I could expand on it now. That's what I wanted to do. And then if there's no more questions, I'll give you back your Friday night. You don't. I appreciate the hangout, but definitely we need some buzz and some interaction. Unless we could just prepare for our long weekend, because I'm sure we all have it. So the question is, if I donated 10K to you right now, what would you do? And this is from Jax. My initial feedback was, I'm still a little weirded out by just donations in general and what they do or don't do. I don't believe that a lot of times when we donate to organizations, I don't think we understand the operational costs. I just really wish that people that have the goodness in their heart when they give their money, that they're at least aware that a lot of these organizations may struggle to do things at cost, and that means that their money isn't really going to what they think their money is going to. And so let's just take me as someone on YouTube, and this is a space where people do donate and give gifts, and likely one day we'll be there. I would hope I would feel that I would earn $1 or $2 gift I can't see why I would earn any more than that at this point. And that's just because of, the role. I think it's okay to appreciate people for all the, effort. I don't know if there's blood, but definitely effort. And I don't know if there's tears. I know there's sweat. I was just sweating. That's why I had to take off that hat. I would definitely say that you can appreciate somebody. So a small gift is fine. A 10K gift is very trivial for me because I actually had an experience with a friend in the past. He, for whatever reason, felt the need to call me because I was doing some consulting. So I was independent, didn't have a boss, so to speak. I was working as a freelancer / consultant. I was doing okay. I was making some things work, making some things happen. And he calls me because he just thought, oh, he's doing business. He's being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs need money. That's the easiest way to lose your money, for one. And it's obviously an easy way to have a strained relationship. And I don't have, my answer back to Jax was, I don't I don't have anything in play that money $10,000 is the difference of. So it would be theft. I would be stealing the money. So I would have to live with that I was not able to, or I took up space that somebody else could have taken up, taken that money because they needed it, or they actually had a project that could work for. For me personally, I don't really align myself waiting for a certain amount of money. Now, look, I got to get my pool fixed, and the money can help, but I'm not at the point where I'm not echoing that. To me, that's not a program that I'm sharing with people. I think it's the first time I've ever even said that because it just came in my head. Because it's not like money can't impact. But what I told Jax was most of the things that I deal with, they don't need monetary resources. They need human resources. They need people to come in and think. This year, what I'm trying to prove to myself is, can you do this in a way that the systems work well enough, based on all the permaculture stuff that I read to you guys, that the program works well enough that I'm able to get my flexibility back. So now my creative mind and skills could be utilized. What does that mean? That means that I could be more flexible as my kids get older and they have less of a daily dependency on me, that I could go out and buy that land and we could start this permaculture orchard, permaculture land in another state, a state that is more in line with, some of the things that I want to do, just because they're in a different agriculture zone. So yeah, it's not a human, it's not a monetary resource. I don't really deal with monetary. Sometimes I deal in egg currency. You guys will hear me talk about that. And I'm glad to have a group that would understand or want to talk about egg currency. That's a big deal for me. I wish I could get to the point where egg currency was in play. Now, when eggs was $8 a dozen, I guarantee you wanted to deal in, people wanted to deal in egg currency. I don't think that was far-fetched, that people want to deal in egg currency. But yeah, those are the two questions. I'll hang out for a little while. The chat has been I know a few people are still in here. You know, we got some lurking. That's okay. It is, like I said, I know it is Friday night. We'll be on here tomorrow as well. So don't feel the need that if you miss anything that we won't be here. And we'll bring some good energy. I should be streaming tomorrow in the day like I do. And this was awesome. This was a learning lesson. Excuse me. I don't exactly know. I have not confirmed if I am vertical at all. I have no idea. I really want to confirm before I get off. So what I'll do is I'll play some of the videos that I usually play when I'm leaving. I did post a short today, and look out for some more shorts from me. Definitely give me a like. Help to get that content out there. It does help with discovery, and we can get the right people. We can get over and reach some of these goals that we've been chasing. The goals definitely seem within reach. So other than that, it was a great night. For those of you who asked questions, really appreciate it. Excuse me. Anyone who joined the chat, even if it was just for a little while, that was good. I don't know. Do my fingers still work? Oh, that didn't work. Let me try that again. Before we go any further, let's be friends. Yeah, I don't know if that's just scaled. Definitely looks like it's scaled weird. But I can play the audio. Before we go any further, let's be friends. Oh, don't. You are there. Night, y'all. Well, I'll see you. I'll be in the chat in the background. If my mods, if you find them, let me know. I haven't seen them. We might have to do something about that. But yeah, it was good. Enjoy the rest of your Good Friday. If you're West Coast, you got some hours. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much. This was cool. This is my first. You guys made it to my first landscape horizontal stream. I've been talking about this for a long time. So definitely had an impact on the numbers. And I'll do some of that data to get to understand what that means. I don't know if YouTube will have separate data paths for this so that I could do the observing and make a decision from there. But for you guys that came, you're the good ones. I will be practicing the name. Don. I know I just don't trust it. But I'll practice it. Well, I'll see you guys on the next one. Let me just get a video lined up. Oh, cool. You guys get to see old.
Today is day 15. The 15th straight day of myself coming on here streaming. In many places, where you grow up determines how you operate. Like Kendrick Lamar. I went from just being a regular dude to a dad to Unk to OG. When I go play basketball, I'm considered OG. As if I'm out there throwing hook shots or something. Make the Pick says, I think that the 90s, 2000s internet felt more special, like nostalgic, right? Is the internet more impactful today from an information standpoint today than it is in the 90s? There's a lack of diversity. You have social media, and that's very sad, because if social media is the internet, then all of your information is going to be confined. If you have children, or if you're going to have children, or if you engage with children, please be honest with them. That is my only request. I have never been more honest than after I had my children. I like when I build something for people to be impacted. And I actually believe that videos, whether it's modern.
Men's league is about going home to your family and going to work the next day. Nothing else. This don't have nothing to do with skills at this point. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. There was always music and entertainment to come back to help enrich the love.
It ain't my subscribe.
That are based on love.
It's thaw season, night edition. Let's go get some eggs. Ride with me.
Oh shit. Oh goddamn. I'm in the snow. Hold on. Oh, I can't see. Oh, it better be worth it. All these goddamn. It's kind of dark, but it's not really dark. Because I guess the reflection of the snow. But it's dark enough that I shouldn't be out here like this.
But it is thaw season. Let's get these eggs. It's thaw season, and we got eggs. Check me out on the nightly stream.
It ain't my fault you're not subscribed.
Today, we train for the 2030 Winter Olympics. Let's do it.
But here by the fire we defy frost and storm. Aha, we are warm and we have our heart's desire. For here's for good fellows and the beechwood and the bellows, and the cup is at the lip in the pledge of fellowship. Oh, here by the fire we defy frost and storm. Aha, we are warm and for good fellows, and the beechwood and the bellows.
You definitely just love that one. Yeah, I gotta make another one like that. It was my comedic phase. Thaw season is about being blocked from doing a lot of my chores that I usually do every year. And it was so much snow on the ground for so long that I called it thaw season. And I have a couple more videos coming out of stuff that I've filmed. It's just been hard to like get around to editing. But yeah, no, thanks. That was one of the fast edits. That thing might have took me 10 minutes to record and like 10 minutes to edit. So that was pretty awesome, pretty good feedback. So, thanks a lot. Well, I'm out of here. Thanks so much. I'll catch you guys on the next one. As usual, make the pick to enjoy him, but I still got to play it. He's been supporting me, and this is his sound.
Sucker for love, sucker for love.